student. Today I'm Amel and my friends Nanda Nadiratul and Yosafatia will present about the relationship between smartphone usage and academic performance among university students. And this topic is based on data from Statista 2024, which shows how much time university students around the world spend using smartphone every day. So here is a table of the contents. We're gonna start it with introductions about the topic and why is it important to study. Second, we will gonna take a look at the background to understand about the smartphone affect the learning. And third, we will gonna explain about the data and method, which includes where we got data and what variable we use. Fourth, we're gonna show the findings, the data result from the Statista, and then we will go through the discussion part where we explain why these results happened, and last, we were gonna wrap it to the conclusion summarizing what we found from this study. Next, we're gonna start with this slide. Many students use smartphones every day. Smartphone help with study, but too much use can reduce focus. This study look at how smartphone use hours per day relate to students' GPA. Questions: does more smartphone use lower academic performance? So as we can see on this slide is explained that many students today use smartphones every day. Smartphones are useful for doing assignment, searching informations, and connecting with teacher and classmates. But however, when students spend too much time on their phones, especially for non-academic activity like scrolling social media or playing games, it can reduce their focus and productivity. In this study, we want to see if there is a real connection between the amount of time students spend using smartphone and their academic performance, which is measured by their GPA. So our main research questions is: does more smartphone use lower academic performance among university students? These questions will guide our whole presentation.
Hello everyone, I'm Ms. Fatia. Now I will explain about smartphone background. Smartphones are part of daily student life. Some research shows that long screen time can reduce study quality, but using phones for learning, like e-books or research, can help students. The goal: find out if too much phone time affect grades. We move to the explain about smartphone background. This slide gives the background of our topic. According to Statista 2024, smartphone uses among university students then has increased every year. Many students now spend more than 5 hours a day on their phones. Smartphone have both positive and negative impacts. On the positive side, they can help students study by giving easy access to e-book, digital libraries, and online learning platforms. They also make communication between students and teachers so faster. But on the negative smartphone side, long screen time often leads to less sleep, lower concentration, and more distraction. When students use their phones too often, they might spend less time to reading books or doing assessment, reading books and doing assessments. Therefore, it is important to understand whether too much phone users can affect their GPA. This background helps you see why our study is relevant and why it matters for students today.
Okay guys, on this slide we can see the data and method of our study. The data comes from Statista 2024, which collected information from university students aged 18 to 24 years old around the world. In this research, we focus on two main variables. The first variable is smartphone usage, measured by how many hours per day students use their phones. The second is academic performance, measured by their GPA. The method is very simple. We look at how the GPA change depending on how many hours students use their smartphone each day. And this data helps us a clear relationship whether more hours of smartphone use means lower grades. Or if it doesn't make much difference.
Okay, now we move to the slide. This slide shows the finding from the data. You can see in the table that students who use their smartphones for 1 to 2 hours a day have an average GPA of 3.6. Those who use their phones for 3 to 4 hours a day have a slightly lower GPA of 3.3. When students use smartphones for 5 to 6 hours per day, the GPA goes down again to 3.0. And students who spend 7 hours or more on their smartphones have the lowest GPA around 2.7. This pattern shows that as smartphone usage increases, the academic performance decreases. Based on the data from Statista, we can see a negative correlation between the smartphone use and GPA, meaning that students who use their phones more tend to get lower grades. This is a very clear trend that support our research questions.
Okay, we move to the discussions. Let's discuss what these findings mean. The data suggests that too much smartphone use reduce academic performance. There are several possible reasons for this. First, when students use smartphone for long hours, they spend less time studying or doing homework. Second, constant notifications from social media can make it hard to focus on lessons. Third, using phones before sleep can affect sleep quality, which then reduce learning performance. However, we also need to remember that not a smartphone is so bad. If students use phones for educational purposes, such as watching lectures, researching, or studying through online platforms, then the effect can be positive. So, the key idea is balance. Using smartphone in a smart and limited way can support learning, but overcast can harm academic results.
Okay, the last is conclusion. From the results and discussion, we can conclude that there is a negative relationship between smartphone usage and academic performance among university students. Based on Statista 2024, students who spend more time on smartphone tend to have lower GPA. This means that the more our students use their phone, the lower their academic results become. Therefore, we suggest that students should manage their smartphone time carefully. They should focus on using their phones for study and communication, not only for entertainment and social media. By keeping their smartphone use under control, students can improve focus, productivity, and learning outcomes. In short, balance and discipline in phone use are the key to better academic success. That is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening. We hope this topic can help you understand how smartphone habits can affect our study result. Bye bye. Thank you very much.